Happy Tuesday. Woke up feeling amazing. Went to bed relatively early. Woke back up two or three times. Watched a little TV. Then went back to sleep. Woke up, prayed a little bit, dozed back off. Woke up, looked outside, saw the weather was dreary. Decided that I would not totally be bedazzled today. Something about the rain for me just kind of like um very interesting evening. I was talking to my main girl pal Sherry, and she's one of the girl pals that I talk about in my videos. She's white, and her preference is black men. I'm black. My preference is white men. Of course, we date our own race, but I'm just talking about um, more so just preference. And to her, she really, she don't find her type, well, not her type, her culture, her own people, that appealing, white men. So I sent her what my type has been since high school, and he's the wrestler. I think he retired though. The wrestler, Dave Batista. I sent her the pictures during his wrestling years versus now that he's toned all that down and he's an actor. He played in the latest James Bond movie. The tall, he's like 6'7", big guy, beard, dark hair. I sent her the pictures from his movie. She fell out. She said, "Oh my gosh, he is hot." I said, "I told you." So she's like, "But Val, he's a Hollywood actor." I said, Hollywood has nothing to do with what he looks like or my type. Because if you go to California, you'll see tons of Dave Batistas, big guys just working out all the time, things like that. But I just said, I've never met anyone like that who is my type, which is like weird. I don't want like the whole Mr. Universe or anything like that. And I'm not even like a muscle type person at all. But it's just something about his look that I could never pinpoint when I'm trying to describe to somebody. They say, well, you know how people say, well, what's your type? And I'm like, muscles, but no muscles. But, if they have muscles, they have to look a certain way, and it's too many things, too many finite things to describe. So when I finally saw Dave Bautista, I said, that's him. But anyway, so there's this guy I've been talking to, Matt, and seems like he seems relatively nice. The total opposite of, my phone's always going off while I'm doing a video. Anyway, he's the total opposite of what my type is. And we were just talking. I said, oh my gosh, I said, I'm so afraid that whomever my husband is, it won't be my preference. And, she's like, well, Val, of course, I believe God's going to want you to be attracted to your husband. And I said, well, of course, I believe that too. I said, attraction's one thing, but I'm talking about my preference. What if God says your husband is a white man, short with red hair and freckles? You probably die. I said, but of course, usually when we pray, we want the things that we want. We do. It doesn't matter how saved, unsaved, how much we pray, how much we don't pray. That's the human psyche, the human feelings. You see something you're like, okay. It makes me think of the Indiana Jones movie when they were looking for the cup of a carpenter, and they said, well, if it belonged to Jesus, they was grabbing all these cups that would belong to a king, because they're like, oh, he's the one and true living king. But they was looking for a cup with all these jewels on it, and they drunk from the wrong cup, because that's not how Jesus lived his life. He was a king, but if you looked at him, he looked like he would blend in with the peasants. And then Indiana Jones grabbed the cup that a carpenter would have. It was like kind of rusty. He poured water in it, and then the whole thing just kind of like turned into gold, drunk out of it, and he lived. So it's like the same concept. I forgot my point where I was going. But yeah, usually we pray for what we want, but usually God gives us what we need. And once we really, really, I mean, really become in right alignment with Christ, what we want will turn into what we need because we'll want to please God. And we know God knows what's best for us. And He can't choose no better than we can. He's the only choice that we should be desiring for our life. So anyway, like I said, very nice, but he's just, it's only been a little bit of time. When I say a little bit, I mean a little bit. And he just seems a little possessive already. Like, oh, you're so beautiful and blah, blah, blah. And like, this guy is already acting like we are in, forget just our relationship, a full-fledged relationship. And I'm like, calm down. Like, I'm like, okay, warning signs, warning signs. You know, I'm going to pay attention this time. Warning signs. You know, just like too clingy. You know, some of the attributes, you know, a girl would want. Some of the ways that he act, being attentive, but being attentive too early, it's just a lot too early. So I'm just like, ugh. And Jared, he's so funny. Like I was telling you guys about the other guy I had met a couple weeks ago, Jody. And when I'm meeting guys and it's a potential date and I don't know where it's going to go, I always take a picture of them and I send it to like Jared, my friends, my family. Like, okay, this is the guy I just met. This is his phone number. This is where he lives. You know, that whole thing, just in case. But anyway, Jared will, you know, we have like keywords, you know. He'll say, how's the snowflakes? You know, instead of like, oh, Lon, have you met any white men lately? You know, and I haven't said anything, but Jared he just studied his mom. He sees by whether watching TV or I'm out, kind of like, he really doesn't know my type as a whole, but he know like what interests me. And he's just figured out like, okay, my mom dates a variety of people. Well, not date, but she likes a variety of type of people, but Asian and Caucasian, my mom smiles a lot, you know. But speaking of Asian, you ever see The Last Samurai with the guy who played the samurai, Kasamoto? His real name was Ken Wanatami. Jesus. Yeah. But yeah, so just be praying that as I am meeting these different individuals that the red flags come up early so I can see, so I can skedaddle. You know, I don't latch on to anything besides weight loss, trying to lose weight too early. But I'm just blunt, not trying to waste my time, and that's it. I am my father's daughter. So what you see is what you get. That made me think of a commercial when I was a child. How it go? What you see is what you get when you buy cornet. Some type of jingle. It was paper towels. I have no idea why. It just said that. Oh, because I was thinking of my dad. Alrighty, you guys. So, pray my strength. Alrighty. God bless you. Bye-bye.